Welcome to the Atheist Witch Podcast, a bi-weekly podcast for witches or any curious minds to learn more about a non-theistic approach to witchcraft. Welcome to the Atheist Witch Podcast, the show where we explore a non-theistic approach to the craft. In today's episode, we're diving into a topic that's foundational to any practice: self-care. It might not seem immediately witchy in the traditional sense, but understanding and prioritizing self-care is a powerful act of personal magic for an atheist witch. Self-care features strongly in my own practice. In fact, much of the meditation, shadow work, and ritual that I do is intended for exactly that purpose. Lately, I've found a lot of comfort, particularly in my pre-bedtime routines. Rituals, if you will. I know that setting myself up for a restful night of sleep is one of the best things that I can do for myself, so I've started to work in things like journaling and meditation right before bed to set my mind at ease before drifting off. This might not be especially witchy per se, but I think it's possible to make anything a little magical if you try. Let's talk witchy self-care. When we talk about self-care in a general sense, it often brings to mind bubble baths and face masks, and while those can certainly be part of it, for a witch, self-care is so much more. It's about tending to your most important tool: your body, your heart, and your brain. As I've said before, you are your most potent magical instrument. I want to say a quick word about privilege. In this episode, I plan to discuss a number of topics that come from the standpoint of achieving optimal results, but it's a very real truth that many, many of us in the world are limited in terms of time or resources. Given that, I want to assure every person listening that every little bit matters. And if you don't have a lot to give for your self-care right now, please don't let that take away from the potential impact. Even a little bit can go a long way. That said, from an atheistic, science-minded perspective, the focus on self-care makes perfect sense. Our bodies and minds are complex systems, and just like any intricate machine, they require regular maintenance to function optimally. Neglect them, and your magic, your mental clarity, and your overall well-being will suffer. So, how do we approach self-care as atheist witches? It begins with taking a holistic view and acknowledging that our physical, mental, emotional, and what some might call spiritual selves are all interconnected. When one aspect is out of balance, it impacts the others. So let's break down some key areas of witchy self-care. Physical self-care. This is the most tangible and sometimes the most overlooked. As I mentioned in the Tools of an Atheist Witch episode, seeing to your basic physical needs is paramount. This includes nutrition, fueling your body with nourishing foods. Just as herbalism focuses on bioactive compounds in plants, understanding what we consume and how it impacts our energy levels and our cognitive function is a scientific approach to personal power. It includes hydration. Water is a fundamental element. It's essential for all bodily functions. Think of it as continuously cleansing and charging your internal systems. It includes movement, whether it's dancing around in your living room, preferably with a pet or a loved one, hiking in nature, or a dedicated workout. Physical activity helps release pent-up energy, it boosts mood, and it enhances overall vitality. In a previous episode, we discussed how consciously manipulating our energy field can be beneficial, and movement is a fantastic way to do this. This includes sleep. Our brains consolidate learning and memories during sleep, and dreams offer a pathway to our subconscious. Prioritizing high-quality rest allows for that mental processing emotional regulation, and physical rejuvenation. It includes sensory input. What you see, hear, smell, and touch directly impacts your brain and your mood. Remember our discussion on the power of scent and memory and how colors can influence our mental state? Consciously choosing what sensory input you expose yourself to is a powerful self-care practice, whenever you can. Shape your physical environment in a way that contributes to your health. So what about mental self-care? This is where a lot of that spicy psychology comes into play. Our minds are incredibly powerful, and directing that power benefits from intentional care. It includes mindfulness and meditation. As we explored in our Science and Witchcraft episode, meditation isn't just woo-woo, it is a proven method for calming the mind, reducing stress, and even influencing involuntary bodily functions through biofeedback. Dedicating time to quiet your mind helps you access your subconscious thoughts and gain clarity. This includes learning and growth. Engaging your intellect, learning new things, and challenging your own biases are all forms of mental self-care. My personal tenets include wisdom, described as life as learning, knowledge, and enlightenment. And this extends to continuously expanding my understanding of the world, both mundane and magical. Mental self-care could include journaling. Your grimoire or book of shadows isn't just for spells. It's a fantastic tool for self-reflection and processing your thoughts and emotions. As an indecisive hoarder of information myself, my main grimoire, as I've mentioned, is online, but I do keep working journals to take notes or write down observations. Taking notes on your mental state during your practice or analyzing your dreams can help you tap into your implicit memory and your subconscious. Mental self-care includes setting boundaries. Protecting your mental and emotional space is crucial. This means discerning what information you consume, who you spend your time with, and even learning to say no to commitments that could drain your energy. Next, let's talk about emotional self-care. Emotions are powerful forces, and learning to acknowledge, process, and direct them is a vital aspect of witchy self-care. It would include emotional embodiment. Don't suppress your feelings. As I've shared earlier, sometimes self-care means allowing yourself to feel sadness or anger, knowing that it is a temporary state and you are capable of shifting it to something more productive. Recognize the physical sensations associated with these emotions and consciously choose to shift toward your desired state. This doesn't mean taking out your anger on some unassuming object with a baseball bat. This means allowing yourself to feel your anger, selecting a more productive emotion, and then moving towards that. Emotional self-care includes self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. We all have moments of doubt or failure. Instead of self-criticism, offer yourself the same understanding and forgiveness that you would offer a friend. It includes creative expression. Engaging in creative activities, whether it's art, writing, music, or crafting, can be deeply therapeutic and a powerful way to process emotion. Magical crafts are a fantastic outlet for this. And of course, emotional self-care includes healthy relationships. Nurturing positive and balanced relationships is key. My personal tenets emphasize love, positive and balanced relationships, because human connection contributes significantly to our emotional well-being. This extends to your relationships within the pagan community, too. Seek out supportive and accepting groups. So what about spiritual self-care from an atheist perspective? Spiritual self-care isn't about connecting with deities, but rather about aligning with your core values, finding purpose, and fostering that sense of wonder with the natural world. So this could include connecting with nature, Spending time outdoors, observing the cycles of the wheel of the year, engaging with plants and elements can be deeply grounding and inspiring. It's a direct connection to the fundamental forces of our universe without requiring that supernatural backing. This can include ritual and intention setting. Rituals aren't just for spell casting, they can be powerful tools of self-assessment, intention setting, and emotional regulation. Even those daily mini magical moments, like the old consciously stirring your coffee with intention, can reinforce your desired mindset and purpose. This absolutely includes shadow work. Shadow work as a practice involves deep introspection and confronting uncomfortable truths about oneself. It's a profound form of self-care. And it's about rewiring your brain and shifting subconscious patterns to align with conscious intention. Spiritual self-care can also include aligning with your tenets. Have a clear set of personal tenets, like my branches of the tree of life: harmony, health, love, happiness, peace, abundance, protection, and wisdom. These provide a compass for your actions and decisions and lead to a more congruent and fulfilling life. Ultimately, witchy self-care is about taking radical responsibility for your own well-being. It's about applying a scientific, observational approach to your inner world, just as you would to an external experiment. Hypothesize what practices make you feel best. Experiment with different techniques and observe the results. Take copious notes in your grimoire. What makes you feel charged? What drains your energy? What brings you peace and clarity? There's no one-size-fits-all approach. What works for one witch, like me, might not work for another. Be patient with yourself, keep an open mind, and remember that even small, consistent acts of self-care accumulate over time to create powerful shifts. Your personal magic begins and ends with you. Here's a sample self-care ritual drawing inspiration from the principles and practices that I've talked about in this episode. The ritual is designed to ground you, center your mind, and infuse your being with renewed energy, all through a science-minded and self-focused lens. This can be adapted to fit your personal preferences and the time that you have available. In preparation, to choose your time and space, select a time when you can be undisturbed. Choose a quiet and comfortable space. This could be your altar, a cozy corner of the house, or even outdoors in nature. Briefly cleanse your space. This can be as simple as opening a window for some fresh air, tidy up, or you can use a room spray with a scent that evokes calm. And remember how powerful scents are, and they're powerfully tied to memory and emotion, so choose what will make you feel calm. Ensure that you're well hydrated. You might have a glass of water, or even better, a calming herbal tea with a specific intention, and this will link your physical needs, your hydration, to your sense of inner peace and renewal. Start the ritual with grounding and centering. This can take about 5 to 10 minutes. Find a comfortable seated position and close your eyes or soften your gaze. Engage in a rhythmic breathing exercise. This could be 4-7-8 breathing or box breathing. And as you breathe, visualize yourself connecting to the earth below, the sky above, drawing in cool, steady energy from the earth, bright, inspiring energy from the sky. You feel these energies collect at your center, and they expand outward, creating a protective, glowing aura around you. You can draw that energy back in, release the excess back into the earth, and you are now grounded and centered. Next, do an emotional embodiment and a release. Bring to mind any emotions that you've been holding on to. Allow yourself to really feel them without any judgment. It could help to put on some music that resonates with those feelings, physically move around, stretch, dance, or shake it out to help your body process and feel what that emotion feels like physically in your body. Once you've acknowledged that emotion, you can consciously decide how you would rather feel and visualize that preferred emotion. What color is it? What sensations does it bring? Any memories? Lean into that new feeling. Direct your inner state to lean into those sensations, that color, or any other associated feelings. This itself is an exercise in neuroplasticity and conscious intention. Next, as part of your self-care ritual, you could do some self-reflection with divination. Choose a divination tool that you enjoy, like tarot or oracle cards or your runes. Draw your card or cast your runes. Interpret those results through the lens of self-reflection. What thoughts, ideas, or hidden insights are these bringing to your conscious mind? There are no prophecies, only pathways to your own inner wisdom. Afterwards, jot down any keywords, images, or insights in your working journal. This will solidify that subconscious connection and allows you to come back for later reflection. So then, based on that self-reflection, next you can set a clear intention for yourself for the coming days or week related to your self-care. Write down your intention. You can light a candle to represent it. Choose a color that corresponds to your desired outcome, like green for balance and healing or blue for peace. Take a moment to focus on the flame and direct your energy into that intention. As you finish, take a moment to appreciate yourself and the effort that you've put into the ritual. Offer gratitude to your body and your mind for being such powerful tools. As you wrap up your ritual, it's good to make a habit of noting how you feel afterward. Over time, you'll observe patterns and understand what practices are most effective for recharging your unique self. By practicing self-care through this intentional, science-informed framework, you empower yourself to be your most potent source of well-being and magic. Ultimately, witchy self-care is about taking radical responsibility for your own well-being. It's about applying a scientific, observational approach to your inner world, just as you would do to an external experiment. Hypothesize what practices make you feel best, experiment with different techniques, and observe the results. Take copious notes in your grimoire. What makes you feel charged? What drains your energy? What brings you peace and clarity? There's no one-size-fits-all approach. What works for one witch might not work for another. Be patient with yourself, keep an open mind, and remember that even small, consistent acts of self-care accumulate over time to create powerful shifts. Your personal magic begins and ends with you. That's all for today's episode on witchy self-care. I hope this has given you some food for thought and inspired you to nurture your most important magical tool, yourself. Join me in 2 weeks for our next episode, where we'll delve into manifestation and the law of attraction. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, or leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also follow me on Instagram at @AtheistWitch, or email your comments and questions to anatheistwitch@gmail.com. Your feedback does help shape future episodes. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep making your own magic. Thanks for listening.